What really happened to Neymar? The rise, fall and legacy. Imagine being called the next Pelé. The entire football world believed one boy from Brazil would become the greatest player of his generation. He had the skills, the fame, the money, and millions of fans. But today, one question still divides football forever. What really happened to Neymar? Was he simply unlucky? Or did football witness the greatest wasted potential of the modern era? The boy who dared to dream. Long before the packed stadiums. Before the Champions League nights. Before the record-breaking transfer. There was just a skinny boy from Brazil, chasing a football through the streets. Neymar da Silva Santos Júnior was born on February 5, 1992, in Mogi das Cruzes, São Paulo. Football wasn't just a game in his family. It was a dream. His father, a former footballer, saw something special in his son long before the rest of the world did. Every touch, every dribble, every smile with the ball hinted at something extraordinary. Santos discovers a superstar. At just 11 years old, Neymar joined the famous Santos Academy, the same club where Pelé became a legend. Coaches couldn't believe what they were seeing. He didn't just beat defenders. He embarrassed them. His speed, creativity, fearless confidence made him impossible to ignore. Every week, more fans arrived just to watch the teenager play. Brazil wasn't simply watching another talented youngster. They believed they were watching the future of football. Brazil falls in love. Then, everything changed. Neymar made his professional debut for Santos. And within months, the impossible became reality. Every match produced a new highlight. Every goal went viral. Every celebration inspired millions of children across Brazil. Comparisons to Pelé became impossible to avoid. European giants started calling. Barcelona, Real Madrid. The biggest clubs in the world wanted his signature. The question was no longer, is Neymar good enough for Europe? It became, which club will win the race for football's brightest young star? Europe was ready. Barcelona was waiting. And the world believed football's next king had finally arrived. But no one could have imagined that the biggest decision of Neymar's career would one day become the most controversial. The rise was only beginning. The downfall was still years away. The dream, the transfer, and the turning point. The Barcelona dream. In 2013, the football world finally got its answer. Neymar chose Barcelona. It wasn't just another transfer. It was the beginning of a dream. Standing beside Lionel Messi, and later Luis Suárez, Neymar became part of one of the greatest attacking trios football has ever seen. They didn't just score goals. They entertained the world. Every pass, every dribble, every celebration felt like football was being played as art. The greatest comeback ever. Then came one unforgettable night. Barcelona needed a miracle. Trailing by 4 goals from the first leg, almost everyone believed the Champions League dream was over. But Neymar refused to surrender. In the final minutes, he scored, created another, and inspired one of the greatest comebacks in football history. The world celebrated Messi. But on that magical night, Neymar became the hero. The €222 million decision. Then, football changed forever. In 2017, Paris Saint-Germain activated Neymar's release clause. €222 million. The biggest transfer in football history. Some believed he wanted to step out of Messi's shadow. Others believed he wanted to build his own legacy. The pressure was enormous. For the first time, the entire football world expected Neymar to become the best player on the planet. Success. But something changed. Neymar scored goals. He won domestic trophies. He produced moments of pure magic. But something had changed. Every season, the expectations grew even higher. Every injury became headline news. Every defeat brought new criticism. The player once called football's brightest future was now carrying the heaviest burden of his career. He became the most expensive footballer in history. But history doesn't remember transfer fees. It remembers legends. And soon, injuries, heartbreak, and impossible expectations would push Neymar into the darkest chapter of his career. The biggest question was no longer, can Neymar become the best? It became, can Neymar ever become Neymar again? Fire. The injuries, the pressure, and the legacy. Every comeback. Another setback. The world kept waiting for the Neymar everyone once feared. But every time he seemed ready, another injury stopped him. Seasons were interrupted. Big matches were missed. And every comeback felt shorter than the last. Critics called him unlucky. Others questioned his decisions. But very few understood the mental battle behind every recovery. Every footballer dreams of lifting trophies. But sometimes, the hardest victory is simply stepping back onto the pitch. The weight of an entire nation. In Brazil, football is more than a sport. It's identity. It's hope. It's pride. Every time Neymar wore the yellow jersey, millions believed he could bring another World Cup home. The expectations were enormous. Some unforgettable performances inspired the nation. Other tournaments ended in heartbreak. Through every victory and every disappointment, one thing never changed. Neymar always carried the hopes of an entire country. Today, the debate continues. Some fans believe Neymar fulfilled an incredible career. Others believe he could have become one of the greatest players in football history. The truth may be somewhere in between. His skills inspired millions. His creativity changed games. His highlights will live on for generations. But his story also reminds us that talent alone is never enough. Football demands consistency, resilience, and sometimes a little luck. Maybe Neymar didn't become the player everyone expected. But expectations are not the same as achievement. He won major trophies. He thrilled millions of fans. And he gave football some of its most unforgettable moments. His journey wasn't perfect. It was human. And perhaps that's exactly why the world will never stop talking about Neymar. Because some legends aren't remembered only for how they won. They're remembered for how they made us feel. Now it's your turn. Do you believe Neymar reached his true potential? Or could he have become the greatest player of his generation? Share your opinion in the comments. And if you enjoyed this documentary, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us for more.